Hi, it's Mia and welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna talk about my January TBR. I know it's a bit late, it's almost middle of January, but I definitely want to share with you what I'm gonna read this month. Before we jump into it, I just want to put up a small disclaimer. So I have so many paperbacks and I keep buying new books all the time. So I decided that in 2021, I'm going to read my paperbacks first and then move on to all the books on my Kindle Unlimited library and all the ebooks that I own. So all the books that I'm showing you today will be in paperbacks. So the first book that I'm starting off my year is actually a book that is left off from 2020. I received an ARC from NetGallery and it's The Wrong Family by Tarryn Fisher. So I was actually reading it in December and then I couldn't finish it in time for 2021. So I'm gonna finish it now this year. And that's the first book that I'm reading. The next book is Hate Notes by Keeland and Penelope Ward. So this is an office romance that starts off by Charlotte going to sell her old wedding dress because her wedding got cancelled. And in the shop she finds another wedding dress and she finds a blue note tucked into it, which is a very romantic love letter from Reed Eastwood. And she immediately falls in love with him. And after like a drunken night, she ends up finding him on the internet and they end up meeting in a very comical way, and by the twist of fate she ends up being her new boss. And even though his love letter is very romantic, he's very arrogant and demanding and cynical, and this is how their little bantering starts and how they like start becoming enemies, then friends, and then lovers in the end. I am very excited about this book. It's been on my TBR for quite some time now, so I'm very happy that I'm finally going to get to it. The next book on my list is Happily Ever After. It's written by the same author duo as Hate Notes, and this one also starts with a letter, but this one's written by a little girl, and she sends it to a newspaper and she wants her wish to be fulfilled. And this is how our main characters meet, and this is a single dad romance and I'm very excited. I heard a lot of people loved it back in December when it was published, and I definitely think you need tissues for this one. So I'm a bit concerned about it because I cry on books like no other person. So the next book on my TBR is Not My Romeo by Ilsa Madden-Mills. I hope I pronounced her name correctly because it's quite long. So this is a sports romance and it starts off with a blind date, and our hero Elena ends up going on a blind date with a guy she never met before on Valentine's Day, and that guy turns out to be Jack, the football player, but she wasn't actually supposed to meet him, it was an accident, and they seem to like click and they spent a wild night together. And in the morning, he made her sign a non-disclosure agreement and she signed it as Juliet because obviously he's not her Romeo. And this is how their entire relationship started off. And I'm very excited because sports romance is one of my favorites. So I'm so excited to read it. I'm actually currently reading it and I'm enjoying it. And I heard this one was voted the unputdownable on Amazon. So I can definitely attest to it because I couldn't put it down so far. So the next book is Layla by Colleen Hoover. This one was also released in December and you probably saw it all over social media as well. This one is a paranormal romance, which is not my favorite, but I have read every single Colleen Hoover book released, so I'm definitely not going to skip this one. I heard good and bad things about it, so I'm just keeping it to myself and I want to decide for myself what my thoughts are about it, as paranormal romance is not my favorite, so I will see how I like it, but I heard that it's quite good, so I'm hoping that I like it and I'll enjoy it. It has a weird start, like Layla and Leeds are in love, but Layla has an accident and she ends up not remembering who Leeds is, so he takes her to a B&B where they first met, and some weird things start happening there. So I don't know, I heard people couldn't sleep after reading this book, and I don't like horror, so I will let you know what I thought about it. And the last book on my list is The Hunter by L.J.Shen. So just a little disclaimer for this book. I know there's been a lot of controversy and drama going on about L.J.Shen, and a lot of rumors and truth were coming to light and people were just talking a lot about this, and I don't want to get into it, but I just wanted to mention it, that I received this book in the Bibliophile summer book box, and it's a signed paperback that was part of the book box. So I do own this copy since August, so I will be reading it. As I already mentioned, I'm cleaning out all my paperbacks, so I will read it. I read the entire series before it, the All Saints High, and this is a spin-off from it, from Hunter. So you probably remember him if you read the All Saints High series. He was friends with Night and Wong. So I'm actually very excited to just read his story and see where life took him in Boston, and just to see how the other characters ended up and what happened with them as well, as this book comes after that series. So that's all for my TBR, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know down in the comments which books are you reading this January, or if you have read any of my books on my TBR, or what you thought about them. And also you can follow me on Instagram and share your thoughts there with me. I'm sharing all my reviews there one by one with some nice pictures that I managed to take. So feel free to follow me there and chat with me there or in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, comment or subscribe. It will mean the world to me. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!
You said filled.
What?
You said filled.
No.
So you said filled.
I didn't.
Filled.
What filled?
The designs are filled. Filled.
Stop ruining my tape.